Hi, my name is Linda Larson Schlitz, and I'm the founder and CEO of Faucet of Hope Ministries. And ministry is a word that is used to define someone who is under the authority and submission of someone else to provide services. And that's how I view myself. I was put on this earth to serve others, and I'm here today to serve you. And I've joined forces with Joshua Haas, who is the owner, CEO of All In Coaching and Consulting. And we're really trying to focus on businesses right now. So if you are a business owner and you are looking to expand the services that you have, you're looking to increase your profits, you are looking to change the climate of your workplace, and you get looking to have people come to work more prepared, more excited about working, and they actually work when they get there, and they do what they're told, and they're productive, and they don't steal from you, and they get along with others, and they help to make your business what it needs to be, and they're providing excellent customer service, and they're doing all the things that you dreamed an employee would do. That's what we're here to help. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to offer a number of things. But initially, what we're going to do is we're going to offer a free training or a free assessment of what's going on with your place of business. How do your employees actually feel about working there? What do they think about management? What do they think about their pay? What do they think about the long-term plan of them being at your workplace? Are they invested? Are they engaged? And if not, why not? You need to know that, because if they aren't engaged, you're losing a lot of money. It's going down the toilet because they aren't working when they're there. They may be taking things that don't belong to them because they don't have any sense of loyalty. There are a lot of issues that come along with that. Now, the other thing that happens is stress. And stress is the number one killer, literally, of a business. There is billions and billions. Now, I've heard everything from 75 billion to $300 billion that go out the window every year in mental illness or stress-related conditions that cause medical, that cause attendance issues, that cause just basic functioning at work. And then when people are really stressed and they get really upset and then they get fired, then they come back in and shoot people. I mean, seriously, this is what happens when things aren't handled correctly or people don't know how to deal with it. So what Josh and I are doing is we have developed this free assessment. It's just a brief questionnaire that we kind of are putting together with the help of employers who want to know this information. We're kind of working with the SHRM, the Society of Human Resource Professionals, that have an organization that they've researched this for years. And we're kind of modeling after some of their evaluations that they put together in surveys. And then we are going to offer that free to employers who can let their employees use a computer. It'll all be automated. Now, if you can't, if you don't have a computer, you're not able to do that, then that's no problem. We can come and do that. We can get you paper copies and do it for $1 an employee, which is nothing, to get the information you're going to get. But then once that survey is done, we will evaluate that survey. I have a master's degree in counseling. I've been in counseling over 20 years. For the last 16 years, I was the employment training counselor for the Job Center and also worked as a disability navigator, working with employers to evaluate their workplace to see if it was mental health friendly as well as disability friendly. And then I would help them to not get sued for discriminating against people. And often, I'll tell you what, to be honest, I didn't know it. Most employers don't know that you have to make accommodations for somebody who's depressed or has anxiety or has ADD or even has substance abuse. You have to make accommodations. And what those are, who in the world knows? Well, I can help you make them. I'm an expert. So that's part of what I do. Now, Josh has got a background in manufacturing. He has got a degree in global economics, and he does things for employers he worked at Green Heck Manufacturing and did a lot of different things there, like the Six Sigma, and he did the ISO 9001, and he did lean manufacturing, and he would train people, and he would audit the business to see, what things needed to be changed. So he's going to come in and do those kinds of things. And he's also a financial planner, a licensed financial planner. So he also does that to help people to look at the bottom line, look at where's the money leaking, where's it going, and what areas can be tuned up to bring a better profit margin into the business. So we're going to come and offer this whole package because I'm a counselor, like I said, and I worked outpatient therapy and lots of different things, and I taught graduate school. I can come in and evaluate the personalities and the skills and the abilities that different people have, because oftentimes the problem in the workplace is not about who your employees are, it's where they are, where you have them placed, and what the job description is or the tasks that you've assigned them. They may be the best, most loyal employee that you have, but they're really terrible at organization. That would be me. And I had accommodations at the job center through the state of Wisconsin because I have ADD really bad and I'm very disorganized. If you read my book, The Ditzy Blonde Faucet, I talk about driving up the wrong way street after living here for 30 years. I'm going the wrong way on a one way and driving through stop signs. And it doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't mean I'm not functional. There are just some things I don't do very well. And so I had people to help me with things like scheduling and organizing my paperwork and those kinds of things. And I'll tell you, the minuscule amount of money that it might cost you to offer some of those supports, and to be honest, the majority of the accommodations that people need, you don't have to pay anything for. It may be as minimal as a flexible schedule. It may be giving them every other weekend off so they can be with their kids that they have visitation, instead of towing that hard line of you have to be here every weekend, or no, we can't, that wouldn't be fair. Do you know what? Fair is not treating everybody the same. That's not fair. Fair is treating everybody different because we're all different, and everybody has a right, legally even, to be treated the way that they uniquely are. So if they have a disability, you've got to look at their particular situation. You can't just set a policy for everybody because everybody's different. So we help you to determine those things, and we do that evaluation. And then we look at your policies and procedures. We look at what needs to change in order for you, again, to not get sued, but in order for it to be the most beneficial to everyone. And then we'll train you. We'll train your staff. We'll train your management team. And maybe even more important, no, I don't know about more important, but it is hugely important to train your frontline people. Your managers might know, but the people who are at that next level, they're the ones that are working with the frontline staff that are actually bringing in all the money. They're working on the assembly lines. They're working in customer service at the front desk. They're the ones flipping the burgers and running the cash registers. If this isn't coming top down, you're missing the boat. So everybody's got to be trained. Everybody needs to know how the personality thing, not only the skills, but the personalities. If anybody's ever done true colors, I'm an orange. Now, oranges don't get along with the greens and the golds. Now, oranges get along with most people, but the fact is we are creative, we are visionaries, we are usually the people that are get or done people, and we don't like policies, procedures, and chain of command. Now, you've got people like that you can't stand, because if you're a good manager and you're in the role that you are destined to be, which means you're probably a gold or a green, you are people that have to do it with policies and procedures and a sense of organization and step by step and taking the time to review it and things like that. That would not be us. So we're clashing a lot of times. And what you need to do is to understand and appreciate somebody like me, because your organization wouldn't move forward. You wouldn't make the changes that you need to make if it wasn't for us people that I call myself a buttectomologist. Have you ever heard one? I think I'm the first one in the world, and I'm patenting this idea, to be honest, because I think giving people buttectomies, I had to have one myself when I dreamed of doing what I'm doing now, which is working from my home or some Caribbean cruise, because I can now, because this internet stuff is everywhere. And that's what my business is. It's working on the internet most of the time. It is writing, it is speaking, it is doing the training. And I don't have to worry about going somewhere because I can do it here, which works out great because I got a new grandson and I got my husband who's ill. I can be home and I can still do this and help people. But I had a problem with my butt. my butts, I should say, because I had way more than just one. I had, but I can't afford it, but I don't have time, but I don't know how, but this is too complicated, but I'm not organized enough. I had a lot of butts, and I had to get off of my butts, because but is an argument for your limitations. And when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. And that's it. That's as far as you go. You go in that pity pot of, what am I going to do? It's just not worth it, because you've got a life to live. You've got goals. You want to be able to provide for your family. You want to make a good living. You want to reach your full potential. And you are not going to if you don't get off your butts and quit making excuses. And people like me, us oranges, are able to push a little bit and say, you know what? What's the worst thing that could happen? Okay, so you mess up, so you get up and you make some different changes. But that's how things get discovered. That's how things are created. That's why we have computers and we have internet and we have all this crazy stuff. Look around you. Everything that is there was somebody's idea that somebody else said it couldn't be done. So there you go. Whatever you think is beyond capability or your capability, you know what? It probably is, because you can't do it all. We need each other. We are all different for a reason. And that's why I call it faucet ministry, because a faucet is an absolutely vital, essential thing when somebody's dying of thirst. And if you don't have a faucet, it doesn't matter how much water you have flowing 20 feet below the earth. It does not matter. It's not going to save a soul. But that faucet could save the world if it was flowing with water that people needed. And each one of us are a unique faucet that has skills, abilities, talents, and experiences that nobody else has ever had in the world or ever will have again, because we're in different places every day, every moment of every day. Everything's different for everybody. Nobody's got it exactly the same. So when you say they're worthless, boy, that's not true. You just don't know enough about that individual and where to place them and where their unique skills and abilities and talents and experiences can be used. And unless you learn that, you are missing out, and that's why businesses fail, because we don't know how to pull out that. Now, the guy that wrote 1 Minute Manager, he had a handle on this more than anybody in all my years of counseling. That little tiny book, and I hate to read because I'm such a space, I'm all over the place. That tiny book meant more to me, and I got more out of it than any book I probably ever read before, because it talks about how to manage people in 1 minute. And this is essential and crucial, and probably the one thing that falls apart more often than not in businesses. It is that piece of, what's the plan? What are your goals for the day? What do you need to do to accomplish those goals? Because they're not my goals as a manager, they're your goals. We have to come up with this together, because top-down ordering people around does not work. What a lot of employers do when they're getting things are falling apart, they come up with more rules, and they come up with more consequences, and they come up with more, things that they're going to do to punish people. They're not looking for the positive. That's what's wrong with our whole society. It's what's wrong with our school system. It's what's wrong with parenting. We're looking for what people do wrong, not for what they do right. We don't ever seem to notice that. So we've got to make that change. We got to make that change behaviorally. And it's a problem. Tell me about it. Tell me how hard I know how hard it is. I've been a parent. I've been a teacher, I've been a counselor, I've been a boss, I've been an employer. I know how hard it is to change that thinking. And even though I'm telling you it's essential, I still struggle with it because we're ingrained to notice the negative. It's what's wrong with marriages. So it's a big thing to look at, but I'll tell you, you don't even know how. How do you do this? How do you look at somebody different when you don't even know what to look for? That's why you need help with assessment, because I can come in and I can show you how to identify somebody's strengths, weaknesses, their barriers, their all of those things, and how to match them up with somebody who has those strengths so that they can be a team. And Josh also is very good at this, and this is part of what he does, especially in the manufacturing. He'll work with peer mentoring, how to put two people together that can kind of work with each other, mentor each other. It gives them both a sense of value, gives them both a sense of hope. And what is hope? Hope is help, opportunity, praise, and encouragement. If you don't have that, you don't have success. That was what the 1 Minute Manager figured out. He figured out that he had to first give people a goal. They had to have a goal. They had to know what was expected of them, and then they had to own it. It was their goal. They had to write their 1 minute goal in 250 words or less every day. They had to write their goal. And then at the end of the day, in the beginning at least, they would review that goal. Did you get the goal done? If not, why not? What happened? How did that fall apart? What supports do you need to make that work next time, tomorrow? And then that's how it would go, and you would work together. And if you didn't do it because you just didn't feel like doing it, well, then there would be a reprimand. There'd be a 1 minute reprimand, not a big write-up and a big occurrence. And if you get 2 more of these, you're going to be fired because you called in sick today. Oh my gosh, talk about stress people out. You would give them a reprimand followed by a 1 minute praise. I know you can do it. You've done it before. I believe in you. So let's start tomorrow and let's get it right. It's a no-brainer, really, but people need to know how to do that, and you need to know what makes people tick. So I come in and show you that, whether it's with, doing the color thing, or whether it's doing other personality inventories or skills assessment. There's so many free things out there. This stuff is not going to cost you hardly anything to do in comparison to the 5 times the amount of that you're going to make on it. I mean, that's kind of what we're trying to guarantee. and that is coming from the statistics that were taken on the program that I piloted and other programs similar to this, that they're looking at a 5 times increase in overall benefits to your business. If you 5 to 6 times actually, if you implement some of these mental health friendly practices, because that's really what this is. It's about people feeling good about their jobs. It's about them feeling ownership. It's about them giving them a sense of purpose. It's about having them feel valued by their employees and the rest of the people at the workplace. It's about respect. It's about no bullying. It's about knowing that my family is important to me and I need that help. So there's a lot of things that are going to benefit if you would just sign up and get involved here. We really want to help you. So we're going to be doing these videos every week, a little tidbit on things. So sign up. Those will be free. So join us, and we'll be looking forward to getting to know you better.